Hey guys, so this is going to be a quick follow-up video to the Sparkswap video I did last time. And I know not that many of you watch this if you're in my other projects, but sometimes it pays to watch this one depending on what you wanted to do with Sparkswap, because you did have a chance to make a little bit of money if you just bought their kind and then just sold it, or you could also get into the Spark 404 NFTs if you're a longtime holder. So let's kind of go over what happened after that video I did. I posted that video back on May 20th. Spark was right down here at about 5 cents to 6 cents. By the time you saw it, it might have been somewhere around 8 cents if you decided to get into the coin. It went and it peaked at about 13 cents as the launch happened. A lot of craziness ensued, just like with any NFT launch that has to do with you needing to buy and burn the token in order for you to get it, as well as a huge liquidity pool that they put out that was paying out like 1,000% for a couple hours because it was for the token. And after that, over that course, they trended back down a little bit, and then since then, this is a token that you can farm on the site. They've trended a little bit down, but they are still now sitting over here at like 7 cents, where they were down at like 5 cents. So overall, the launch has been good for the project. Now, can they turn this around in the next short term and start going back up? Can we kind of hold 7 cents? Time will tell on that, but if you're really in Sparkswap for the right reasons, you're there for the fact that they're a project that has a long-term outlook and a way for you to make a return on your coins. But how did I do in the launch? Well, it's kind of hard to tell. So you come here and you go to the Sparkswap 404 page, and I came here. When I was looking at these, they were at about $70, but that's because when I came to buy them, going back to the 7-day chart, Spark was up here at like a dime, maybe 11 or 12 cents. And this, when you think about this $40, if you add on what would almost be a 50% price gain to that, that would be that 60-ish, maybe 70-ish dollar price, depending on what Spark was at when I was swapping it for this. So the NFT has kind of held its value in the amount of Spark tokens that you would have had to put into it, but the Spark token itself has gone down. And because this token is going to be these NFTs are going to be kind of tied to the value of Spark in a indirect way, but pretty closely, there is a chance that we're going to see a lot of times that this NFT goes up or down with the price of the token on the platform. So as you can see, I ended up getting two. I did re-roll them a few times. I ended up getting a silver type 1 and a bronze type 3 type 5. Silver type 1 is like the worst silver you could get, so I might re-roll this guy a little bit later. I didn't want to do too much re-rolling on day one. And this is one of the better bronze ones that you can get, so I might hold on to him, especially because the hat looks pretty cool with the antennas. It's kind of a funny little guy. As you can see, just 4 days in, I've earned $1 rewards on these two guys. You can be looking at it at about $100 investment to $120 investment. Made me $1 in 5 days. That's not bad. And if this makes me $40, it'll earn me another NFT, because what you are earning in this token is the B Spark token. So if I go over here to the trade hub, just so you can understand these, and I go to exchange, I have these oh yeah, right there, Spark 404 tokens. So the way that this NFT works, unlike most NFTs, is that all 10,000 are minted and out there and in the ecosystem in theory, except for the fact that somebody needs to get these tokens and buy them, besides the person that provided the initial LP. So it's kind of funny how that ends up working, but basically all of these tokens are within the liquidity farm, and as people buy them and we get more holders coming up, this NFT should also go up in value. So if you actually go to the Spark 404 collection, you will see that there are there's a total volume of like 600 million wrapped pulse. There are currently 348 owners. As I do my videos on this is the thing we're really going to be looking to come into, because each time somebody wants to become a new owner, they have to come into the ecosystem and they have to get one of those Spark 404 tokens. Now you can only get those either by trading for one of the ones that are currently on the market with wrapped pulse, or going ahead and burning some of your Spark, and then you can trade that to get one of these tokens. It's kind of an interesting way that you can do it. Either way, the only way to actually end up getting them is to get them with burned pulse. I'll kind of show you that on the exchange here. So if I go to do an exchange and I'd say I want to use my pulse and I want to get a Spark 404 token, and I want to get one token, that's going to cost me 800,000 wrapped pulse. But you're going to see that the way that it's going to go is from pulse to B Spark to Spark 404. Now, in a scenario where there wasn't enough B Spark, then they would go ahead and do Spark to B Spark to 404. So that's kind of something that's interesting in the ecosystem. The other thing that is really special about this ecosystem is the way that it's all made to kind of help itself. Now, what kind of strategies can you use in an ecosystem like that? Well, I'm going to show you one of mine that I'm going to start doing. So here's the farming tab. As you can see, I got a position in this BSpark PLS farm. I put in about $150. It's been going up and down as the value of burned Spark and the pulse thing gets used. I earn fees. I earn rewards. As you can see here, this is the one that is still paying 277%. I got into this one kind of early with about $160. It went up to like $180 when things were pumping, went back down. So it's still spinning about where I put this money in, but I've already made $7 in rewards. So $161, a couple days earned $8. If you were a bigger player than me, you can imagine how much nicer this could have been for you. Again, with $151,000 in liquidity. Numbers are smaller over here on the Pulse ecosystem because this system is still kind of new, in my opinion. New things are still being built, and Richard Hart is currently in a battle with the SEC, so we're waiting for him to either reach a settlement or win that lawsuit for him to really start being public again about this chain. Right now is a very interesting time. If you think he can win that case or settle that case in a way that the the Pulse token is not considered a security, then this whole ecosystem could start to explode, especially because the OA wallet that we don't know if it's Richard Hart or not, at least legally, I don't know that. It has a lot of money in it, a lot of Ethereum. And the word is those will come over here to start supporting his system in some way or another once, his legal issues are worked out. So again, there's a flip side to that coin, though. If they're never worked out, then it's just up to the community to take care of this chain. And we'll have to see if that community is strong enough or not when it comes to the overall Pulse community. But let's go ahead and get into this. So in this ecosystem, I'm currently using the BSpark farm, the stablecoin farm. I got an airdrop of the Bro token just from being an original person that got into that Ben token. So I went ahead and threw some of the airdrop into the liquidity farm. I did take some profit out of it, and I upped this, and that's what I used to buy my 404s. So hey, I got a little something out of losing a decent amount of money on Ethereum. But I'm in this farm. It's paying pretty good at 150%. I'm in this GOAT token farm. GOAT token is an up-only token for Pulse. It's basically so you can only buy GOAT token by burning Pulse, and you can only redeem GOAT token by burning the GOAT token to get your Pulse back. But there's a fee each time you do that, whether you're going in or coming out. That means a GOAT token is going to always be worth more than a Pulse token. Doesn't mean the GOAT token is always going to be an up-only token in value. It's an up-only token in the amount of Pulse that it is worth. So I took some of my Pulse originally, I turned it into GOAT, and I threw it in this farm here. So, got just a couple $100 in here. And that's the Spark Goat farm. It pays at a pretty decent percentage, mostly because not that many people are in this. As you can see, the liquidity is kind of small. But hey, I'll take my tokens for now and enjoy them while I can farm them. If this starts to dry up, then I would have to go ahead and move out of it. I'm in the ETH EMP one because I do believe in the EMP team. They're the ones behind Sparkswap. So this is my biggest bag. I have some Ethereum and some EMP. I put this over here. It's got one of the smaller percentages at 18%, but this is basically, if you understand their ecosystem, it's ETH with ETH for 18%. That's not bad. You'd have to really understand their ecosystem. I'm not going to get into all that today, but that's what this is to me. And I had some Hex tokens, so instead of staking them on the Hex platform and earning, having them locked up to earn a good return, I just went ahead and match them up with Pulse because Hex tokens will go up if Pulse tokens go up. So it's not a bad liquidity pair to have if you're speculating over here. And it's also a lower payout at 33%. But, I had some of my Pulse. I don't want to spend it, so I'm investing it into some of these farms. Now, let's go ahead and get into my strategies here when it comes to Sparkswap. So one of the things I'm in this BSpark Pulse field, right? So I need this one to go up. I'm also invested in the Spark 404 ecosystem, holding 2 of those. I would like those NFTs to go up. I also am responsibly taking some profit and putting it into the DAI farm. And then I have these other farms. But what other investment do I have here? I have my Sparkler investment. So when I look at my Sparkler investment, I look at this very first stake that I did quite a while ago. And I invested a whole $1.30. This was one of my early things when I was just starting to play around with the platform, but it's made me $1.50. So I'm up 20 cents on that investment, and I'm still going to be earning on that investment for another 411 days. So as you can see, there's a long-term thinking here. I also did another 70 cents one. That's 79. A $1.45. That's a $1.53. And then 259, that's only at 237. So only my first 3 investments at this point have paid out more than my initial stake. But this is this is their staking platform where you get paid out based on all the trading volume that goes on their DEX and all their trading volume that goes on their bridges and some of the Spark 404 trading that goes on. So I got my 2 Sparkies. I got my whole 2.1 tokens for this ecosystem, and you can only get these tokens. You need to get the BSpark token to go ahead and buy this token. So one of the things that I can start to do within this ecosystem is that when I farm the Spark here, I can take this claim of $7. I can go ahead and put that $7 into the Spark I earn into buying BSpark. If I buy BSpark and push it over PEG, then I can swap that to get extra amounts of the Spark 404 token. I won't be doing that with all of my farms, but I will be doing that with the Spark that I get from this particular farm and the Spark that I get from the Sparkler, because when I get my Sparkler rewards, as you can see here, I have another like $1.76 ready to harvest. I just harvested this recently. I can break this and I'll get Spark and Pulse, and I can go ahead and put the Spark back into the Pulse, into the ecosystem, but I can take that Spark and I can swap it for BSpark and buy more 404 tokens. That means I'm going to be pushing my 404 token value up over time, hopefully, and my holdings and the amount of NFTs that I have, while at the same time making sure that I don't weaken my positions in the other areas that I am. My other farms that I'm in will continue to do what I've been doing recently. I take profit kind of responsibly, and I put it back into their stable coin farm, the DAI farm, and then I put the rest of the coins into the Sparkler. So that's currently what I'm doing over here. Time will tell if this is a good play or not. If I'm still making videos on Sparkswap next year, I think you'll know that this was a good move at this time. And if it disappears off the feed, then I probably messed up. But I'll do a mea culpa video at the end if this goes wrong. But I really believe in the team, so I don't think I'll be doing that. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.